Good morning, buongiorno. My name is Leorit and I am from the Italian Trade Agency and I welcome all of you to the Italy country session. We have a very exciting session lined up today. We will begin with an introductory talk from our wonderful Consul General Alfonso Tagliaferri, followed by an introduction about what ITA does in India by our Director of Italian Trade Agency Mumbai, Ms. Andrea Kotrocki. Followed by, I will be giving a presentation about, a little more detail about, Invest in Italy, incentives offered and other opportunities. And followed by a very interesting panel discussion, which will be moderated by my colleague, Ms. Mrinalini Kumar, who runs the FTI unit at the Italian Trade Agency in Mumbai office. So it's going to be an exciting session, and I hope you all are also looking forward to it. Perfect. So let's begin. Well, the agenda for the session is going to be more, it's a mixed bag that we have here today. We're going to talk, of course, about Invest in Italy, but there are also, a few Italian companies that are around with us, and they are looking to, enter the Indian market. So we'll have some interactions with them as well today. They're going to share, what are the kind of opportunities that are looking to, have, especially maybe in the Karnataka state. Because we are at Invest Karnataka the last 3 days. So let's begin with the first introductory talk, and it's my pleasure to invite Consul General Alfonso Tagliaferri to give us a brief introduction, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yelerigo Namaskara for the Kannadigas of you, Namaskara Sab, and Buongiorno, good morning, good morning. So, thank you for letting me talk first. I would just like to start from briefly from the big picture of Italy and India and delve a little bit more into the particulars, and then letting the Italian Trade Agency to specify more things in detail. So the big picture, I would say that Italy and India are definitely on the right track of bilateral relations. You might have heard here and there this hashtag melody, which is beyond the social media, is really something happening. In today's geopolitical world in which personal relations are becoming more and more important, the fact that our two leaders are so aligned and they have met 5 times in the last 2 years means a lot for our two countries. But beyond the personal relations, there has been some ink on paper, some important ink on paper in the last couple of years. Italy and India signed a strategic partnership in 2023. And this was followed by a strategic action plan for the next 5 years, signed just 6 months ago at the margins of Rio de Janeiro or G20. In this plan of action, we selected the 10 areas that will be the focus of our bilateral relations, and this goes from agri-food, from tech, from energy transition, sustainable mobility, but we recently opened 2 new sections that were before more closed. You might remember the incident we had at this point already almost 10 years ago about the Marines that froze the relation for a few years. Instead now, the relations are in full steam and open to new sectors like cyber, defense, space. So last year was an exciting year for space. We signed a couple of MOUs. The president of Italian Space Agency was here. We were the country partner at the Bangalore Space Expo. We had a big exhibition on space at the Science Gallery here in Bengaluru. And then at the end of the year, we signed also an agreement on defense. It's not by chance that in the Aero Show, which is still happening, Italy was the only European country with a political presence, because our Undersecretary for Defense was here, and he had bilateral meetings with 4 different Indian officials to discuss various matters, which are, of course, still on negotiation, so I will not detail into that, but also the defense cooperation, which is also always a sensitive but a very important matter between countries, because it shows the trust and the mutual friendship that we have is in full swing. So Italy and India, coming to the investment part, we have around 800 companies present here that employ about 50,000 Indian employees, with a global investment in India in the last around 20 years of about 6 billion euros. We also have about 2,000 Italian brands currently circulating in India. This is India, but what do we do in Karnataka in particular? Well, in Karnataka, out of these 750, 800 companies, we have about 80 plus companies, so a tenth of them. So a good concentration if you think there are 28 regions, 28 states. So 80 plus companies currently present. Some of them are looking at expansion. For example, Bieste, which is a giant in wood and glass cutting, Streparava, which is into powertrains for big companies like Ferrari, etc. Clima Veneta, which is the fastest growing company in AC manufacturing in India. But other companies are coming from Italy and they've announced big investments. We have here Near Group. We just announced an investment of 200 million euros in Mangalore, and they are into ecological, let's say, building materials. We have Nanotech, an Italian cutting-edge technology company in, of course, nanoparticles that just stepped in the country for a conference last year, and now their biggest client worldwide is already in India, so they're announcing also investments. But we have also the traditional Italian companies like Monteferro, which does elevators, DAB pumps, of course hydraulic pumps, SILMAX, which is also here today, that also is into metal tools. So also because many of you know if you're here, but you know Italy might be famous for the typical fashion, food, etc. But the core of our export is manufacturing, is precision manufacturing. So we also, I mean, what do we do in Karnataka? We also opened a consulate general. We opened officially a year and a half ago. I am the head of the mission here. We will soon have a scientific attaché that will take care of a lot of interaction that we have with Indian universities. We were just yesterday at the ISS, the Indian Institute of Science, of which 100 researchers go every year in Italy, in particular in the area of Trieste, in the electrosynchrotron, to train for free. We have many, let's say, cooperation in the sector. So, let's say, this proves that Italy keeps investing in India and in south of India in particular. But is India investing in Italy? Much less as of now. The FDI of India to Italy, it's about a staggering 1/20th of what India does in Italy and of what Italy does in India. So if we invest here 6 billion euros, India invests in Italy 300 million euros, which is really little, considering the might of this country, the pace of which you're growing, and the fact that now you are the fifth economy in the world, poised to be the third economy in the world in just a couple of years. So we said 300 million euros, 140 companies, Indian companies, are in Italy against 800 Italian companies in India. Italy is a small country, even though we are big in economy, but still India is bigger, but still you have much less presence here. So I think there's a lot to improve, there's a lot to take advantage for India to look at Italy. Why? Why would you look at Italy? Italy is, yeah, we said food, etc., but we are the second biggest manufacturer in Europe after Germany. We have a very similar, in this way, economy to Germany. Germany tends to make bigger machines. We tend to make more smaller and more precision, let's say, bespoke machineries. So the second in Europe and the fifth in the world manufacturer. And then we have many excellences. We are the biggest producer worldwide of, for example, of yachting. luxury yachts. We are the second largest exporter in the world for footwear. The first in Europe in the field of design and luxury and furniture. The second in pharma. We are very big in pharmaceutical production. But we are strong in many sectors. In space, for example, I just mentioned, one of the few countries that can do everything from space to defense. In cloud computing, we are the first in Europe, you would think. So, plus we have a lot of incentives. We have a huge special economic zone just created in the south of Italy. Basically, all south of Italy, since they're still a little bit lagging behind in terms of economy, Italy in this way is a little bit of the flip side of India. The south of Italy has a bit like lower rates in terms of development, GDP, literacy, science, etc. So to boost it, we created a special economic zone in all the south of Italy, not little pockets. We have put in place some incentive for the mobility. So there is a special investor visa. So if you invest beyond certain thresholds, you are able to live in Italy. But I will not delve into the particular because we have here the Italian Trade Agency that will make it clear the different incentives one by one. So let me conclude saying that quoting that made in Italy is the second, McKinsey said that is the second most valued brand in the world after Visa. So if Italy, as I mentioned, is investing heavily is believing in the Make in India program by President Modi, I think that India should also embrace and take advantage of the Made in Italy brand. Have a fruitful conversation today. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Thank you so much, Consul General. That was a wonderful talk, and I think it gave us a very good understanding of, what are the other sectors that are really booming in Italy and the ones that we're not even aware of. So thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite the Director of Italian Trade Agency in Mumbai, Mr. Andrea Quattrocchi, to give us his presentation. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Consul Tagliaferri. He already told almost everything what need to be said for today's day. Thank you for coming so numerous today. As said, so I'm the Director of Italian Trade Agency in Mumbai, which is the trade promotion section of the Consulate General there, and I'm here since December 2021. The Italian Trade Agency, acronym ITA, not to be confused with ITA Airways. The only thing that we have in common is we also fly very high with our ambitions to make great business between our two wonderful countries. The Italian Trade Agency is the governmental agency that supports the business development of our companies abroad and promotes the attraction of foreign investment in Italy. The agency was established in 1926, so next year we are going to celebrate our first 100 years. With a motivated and modern organization and a widespread network of offices all over the world, ITA provides information, assistance, consulting, and promotion and training to Italian small and medium-sized business, which are our privileged partner. Of course, we are also available for bigger companies, of course. Using the most modern multi-channel promotion and communication tools, it acts to assert the excellence of Made in Italy in the world. And as Consul General already said, the Made in Italy, it's not only the 3F, food, furniture, and fashion, but so much more. The Italian Trade Agency promotes through a worldwide network of 79 offices in 65 countries. And in India, we have an office in New Delhi, which acts as coordinating office for India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. The Mumbai office, as already told, and the Mumbai office. To underline the growing importance of the Indian market, and especially of Karnataka and the southern states of India, after the opening of the Consulate General, we opened at the beginning of last year, of 2024, a desk within the Consulate General, headed by Mr. Tagliaferri. The Italian Trade Agency is the ideal and first gateway for every enterprises, both Italian willing to enter the Indian market and to establish a solid relationship with Indian partners, and Indian willing to establish business relationship with Italian partners, from sourcing Italian products to investment opportunities in Italy. And actually, as already told, among the different activities of the Italian Trade Agency, a growing role plays the attraction of foreign investment in Italy. And therefore, we established in our two offices, both in our offices of New Delhi and Mumbai, an FDI desk to help this activity, to develop this activity. And in the Mumbai office operate as FDI analyst my colleague, Mrinalini Kumar, which later will moderate the panel discussion. Our FDI desks operates in constant relationship with the Foreign Investment Attraction Department in our head office in Rome, which is a dedicated unit for facilitating the establishment and the development of foreign companies in Italy. The department's main activities focus on promoting business opportunities, helping foreign investors, supporting investors throughout the investment's life cycle, offering high-level tutoring service for existing strategic investments. More details and deeper insights about the single activities will be now introduced to you by my colleague of our Bengaluru desk, Leo Retelia, to whom I'm glad to leave now the floor. Thanks you all for your attention. I hope you'll have interesting hints for your relationship with Italy and Italian companies.
All right. I am here again. So let's maybe dive straight into the topic of the day, Invest in Italy. I would like to give more details on, what are the offers and opportunities that are there in the country. Perfect. Italy is one of the most attractive investment destinations in Europe, with FDI stocks reaching $493.5 billion in 2023. It's a 7.5% increase from 2022. While global investment inflows saw a downturn, Italy remained resilient, ranking 9th in Europe and 25th globally in FDI inflows. Well, the key takeaway here is that international investors are betting on Italy's future. Well, these are the countries, what are the kind of jobs that are created? Well, to answer this question, well, Italy is a global leader across multiple sectors. It's the third largest economy in the Eurozone, world's 6th largest exporter, and 2nd largest European manufacturer. Well, it's not just about the size, but also about excellence. Italy leads in various sectors, if I may share a few with you. In pharma and in biotech, Italy is 2nd in Europe, and with around 52% export surge in 5 years. As Consul General mentioned that we all know that Italy is a global hub in luxury and fashion and craftsmanship. It's also a largest exporter of wine globally. Another very important thing that we should also know that it's a strategic location, which gives you a very easy access to not only Europe, but also the Middle East and Africa. There are a lot of good investments that are, also flowing in the innovation and the R&D, segment as well, wherein Italy ranks 10th globally for innovation effectiveness. there's a strong talent pool with, competitive labor cost also available in the country. I think we can, of course, meet offline after this session and, give you more details about that as well, because each region in Italy and its sectors, there are different opportunities available, and we'll be happy to share that details with you. The country's reputation as a business-friendly nation is growing as it ranks 5th globally in the nation's brand index, with 88% of foreign-controlled companies confident in its future attractiveness. Well, don't take my word for it. All the global brands that continue to expand their Italian presence benefit from the skilled talent, innovation, and market access in the country. If I were to talk about a little bit on the incentives that are being offered, again, I'm going to briefly touch on that. We offer some tax exemptions on capital investments and R&D. There are some interesting grants that have been offered for high-tech and sustainable businesses for, Industry 5.0. There is a green transition funds that has been offered. For SME and for the startup support, there is zero interest loans and innovation grants also being offered. Like I said earlier, that maybe we could, meet offline and discuss this in detail. We are present at the country booth at number 12, where we can meet offline and discuss more in detail. So, so Italy and India share a very strong and an evolving partnership thanks to both the prime ministers of the country. The joint strategic action plan that was discussed focuses on the economic and the investment growth. The other focus is also on the sustainable mobility and energy transition. And the sectors that are major focus are food and agriculture, infrastructure, aerospace, semiconductor, and many more, as mentioned here. I'll just try to, probably share a few, success stories with you. These are the few companies that we have listed here. There are very few, and there are many more companies that have invested in Italy. But let me share a quick note about these two companies with you. A few years ago, when this Indian company set its sight on Europe, and Italy wasn't the obvious, first choice. The market, at that time was unique. You understand the business culture is very different. The digital transformation was, just evolving in Italy. But instead of waiting for the right, perfect moment, this company, just dived in and, started building relationships. I'm talking about Infosys. They established delivery centers, hired local talent, work closely with Italian businesses to digitally, transform operations. And today, Infosys serves some of Italy's biggest brands across banking, retail, and manufacturing, proving that with the right strategy, an Indian company can thrive in Italy. There are many more examples, and I'm sure when, followed by this presentation, we have a session, that will be moderated by my colleague, Mrinalini. There'll be a few more case studies that will be shared in the session as well. So I'd like to quickly conclude my session. The introduction was already given by the director, Mr. Andrea Cotrocchi, that what Italian Trade Agency does. But we are here. If you have any sort of, assistance that you may require, you can reach out to us anytime. And, either you're looking to identify potential partners, navigating regulations, or to setting up your business operations smoothly, we'll be here to assist you. I'll just quickly also tell you about a few activities that are planning. I think this has already been covered. Mr. Kotrocki mentioned that we have our office in Delhi and Mumbai and the desk in Bangalore, which I look after. Yeah, so I'll just maybe skip this slide. But I wanted to really highlight upon the activities that were planned in this year. We are planning, there are some sectors that we are focusing on, which is in green hydrogen, renewable energy, EV, biotechnology, fintech, and a B2G roadshow is also lined up this year in multiple cities, also having some, periodic webinars. We are also going to have an investor delegation that will be planned to visit to Italy to some of the startup events this year as well. So if you're ready to take the next step, please let's meet offline after this session, and let's take the discussion forward. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Consul General Alfonso Tagliaferri, for your introductory remarks, and Dr. Quattrocchi, as always, to back us up and speak more about the Italian Trade Agency, and my colleague, Leorit Elia, who has briefed you on what we do as Italian Trade Agency in India. Right now, we will begin our panel discussion, which is going to be 30 to 40 odd minutes of engaging conversation, exploring how Indian companies are leveraging Italy's economic landscape to grow and expand their business across Europe. We will be hearing firsthand from the industry leaders who have made Italy a crucial part of their global strategy, while at the same time, we also will get to hear 3 Italian companies who have decided to make Karnataka as their base, and hearing from them what led them to choose Karnataka. So without further ado, I think I would like to request the panelists to please get on the stage. Mr. Vijay Agashe, Head of Strategy and Chief of Staff from STL Optical Networking. Mr. Fabio Fedel, Managing Director from SILMAX Group. Mr. Nipun Sahni, Vice President, International Business Development from Tejas Networks. Mr. Nitik Ratnakar, Director and Architect, UA in Italy from Mir Group. Followed by Mr. Giuseppe Galimberti, CEO, Nanotech Italia. So now that they're on the stage, I think we can start with the session. Italy. Check. Yeah. Italy is not just a country of great culture, history, and cuisine. It's also a dynamic economic player in the European Union. With its strategic location in the heart of the Mediterranean, Italy is at the crossroads of global trade routes and offers access to market over 600 million people in the Europe alone. But beyond its geographical advantage, Italy is also home to robust manufacturing, cutting-edge technology sectors, and growing ecosystem for innovation and digital transformation. In the recent years, Italy has seen a surge in foreign investments, especially in technology, manufacturing, and green energy. The government has introduced several initiatives to attract foreign businesses, from tax incentives to infrastructural development. It's a land of opportunities for companies looking to scale their operations in Europe. So good morning, one and all again. This is Mrinalini Kumar, head of the Italian Trade Agency, FDI desk in Mumbai, and we are here to speak about why Italy and also why India. So I would like to take this opportunity to quickly request the panelists to kindly give the audience a brief introduction about yourself, your organization, and what you do in Italy and also in India, wherever you're present. So in no particular order, please start here.
Hello. Yeah, maybe I can start. Good morning, everyone. This is Vijay Agashe. I lead the corporate strategy at Sterlite Technology Limited. We are mainly into manufacturing of optical fiber cable and copper cables, and this is our main association with Italy. Italy is our largest base outside India. We are one of the top cable and copper manufacturers in entire Europe. That plant is the biggest. So looking forward to the panel discussion, and Italy is a very strategic asset for us, both in terms of manufacturing capability as well as serving our customers. So looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you. Mr. Fabio?
Hello, good morning. My name is Fabio Fedel from SILMAX. SILMAX is an Italian producer of metal cutting tools for high-tech machinery. Our tools play an important role to increase the productivity of machinery. To increase the productivity of the machinery, it's important 2 things. First of all, the quality and the know-how of the tools, and SILMAX Group has 200 years of history. And also it's important the way you use the tools, because the way of machinery is infinity options. And it needs some fantasy, and we are Italians, so we put a lot of fantasy and figure out new ways, new solutions to produce the tools that should, the pieces that should be done using these mechanical tools.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Italian team, for inviting us here. Great pleasure to be here at Invest Karnataka. My name is Nipun Sahni. I work for a company called Tejas Networks. It's a telecom equipment company. In fact, it's the first startup to IPO a deep technology company story out of India. This company was founded in the year 2000, went through multiple rounds of VC fundings, eventually went for an IPO in 2017, and 2021, we became a part of the Tata Group. So Tata Group took majority stake in Tejas in 2021. And what we do, we actually design and manufacture state-of-the-art wireline and wireless equipment, telecom equipment that powers all the telecom networks. We've been doing this for 2.5 decades. All these products are designed in India, manufactured in India, software, hardware, manufacturing, the whole 9 yards. And of course, we are now on a stint to expand our footprint internationally. Italy happens to be the first country in Europe, which is why I'm also here, where we set up our base. So that's about Tejas. Quickly, what do I do in Tejas? I'm responsible for the Europe region in Tejas, and I wear 2 hats actually. So one of the responsibilities is setting up the base for Tejas in Europe. And the second is, since we are a part of the Tata Group, there are a lot of sister companies with a lot of synergies like TCS, Tata Communication, Tata Steel. There are 29 listed companies within the Tata Group. So working with those Tata Group companies to find synergies, common grounds, joint go-to-market is the second piece of my remit within Tejas. And yeah, that's it for an introduction. More about me. I mean, before Tejas, so I've been a telecom guy for last more than 2 decades. Before that, I used to be in semiconductor area, run design services. So thank you once again. Pleasure to be here and look forward to a very engaging discussion.
Namaskara ellarigu. This is Nitik Ratnakar, and thank you Italian team for inviting me for the panel discussion. And it's my pleasure to be a part of Global Investor Meet 2025. So I'm a Kannadiga, where have been in Italy since 7 years. So I'm the director of MIR Group, Italy. So we are into energy efficient building construction and management, where we have transformed almost 120 buildings and made them energy efficient by almost 80%. So with the offices in Switzerland and UAE, now we are also putting our foot in India as well, where we are also setting up with a sustainable innovative industrial district, which will be focused only on carbon neutrality. So, and also we are coming up with the development in Kosovo, which is East Europe as well. So this is much about our company. So thank you once again.
Hi, good morning. My name is Giuseppe Galimberti. I'm founder and CEO of Nanotech. Nanotech, as the General Counsel said before, is an Italian company that is focusing on advanced composite materials. We do these high-tech materials that are used in automotive. We supply all the Formula One team, which is a key fact. We are doing a lot in the aerospace, where definitely India is picking up quite nicely. Of course, I came here first time 2 years ago. I got fascinated by the opportunity. And as of that time, we started to work with the India ecosystem. Our best customer is already an Indian counterpart, and we are about to open a subsidiary in a couple of months, and very likely soon a manufacturing facility here. So that's the goal. Again, on the company is a fast-growing scale-up and targeting high-end application, as I said, automotive and aerospace in particular. So thanks for having me here, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, panelists, for your brief introduction. I think to kickstart the discussion, as an Indian company that has invested in Italy, Tejas Networks, Mr. Nipun, I would like to ask you that when the whole world is moving towards the east, what in your opinion are the advantages of moving to Italy? And what sort of opportunities do you see for Indian companies that are shifting their base to Italy, or establishing another subsidiary in Italy? So if you can just give us some insights on that.
Yeah, I mean, surely. To your point of the whole world moving to East, I would like to put it that right now there is some kind of a global reconfiguration going on. There is a new shape of the world that is emerging, and yes, there is a lot of growth in the East, but for companies like Tejas, we see a lot of opportunity in the West, even though there is this debate about is Europe growing? Probably 0.5%, 1%, not that much. But for a company like us, which does not have any presence in Europe today, it's a huge opportunity in that region. A larger company which has already established base, they would probably grow linearly in line with the GDP growth of a country. But for us, Europe is generally a very large market. So maybe I'll answer it in two parts. So why Europe, and then within Europe, why Italy, right? So why Europe? I mean, so one is, of course, it's a huge untapped opportunity market for us. Secondly, in the field of telecom technology, security is becoming more and more paramount and critical. Trust and security is very crucial. If your communication network, if the data gets siphoned out or data breaches, it's very, very serious concern. And because of that, started with the US, then trickled into UK, and now even European Union is banning some of the suspect manufacturers and some of the suspect countries whom they do not have a trust with. So this sort of global, tailwind is something which is a big opportunity for companies like Tejas because we produce these products in India. We are very transparent. Our approach with the product design, hardware, software, and openness of our products, talking to third-party products, and openness with respect to opening our product, technology, all of that is a lot more compared to some of the other vendors. So there is, so second point is because of this security and trust theme which has become so dominant in the European Union, even in Italy, where the Italian government has been exercising their golden power to veto some of these things. So that is why we really have a mandate to grow our presence in Europe. Now, within Europe, why Italy? I mean, when we decided to step up in Europe, it was very clear that we had to go in one of the bigger economies. So we didn't want to go to, there are 28, 29 EU countries, big and small. We were very clear that we wanted to go into one of the bigger economies. Italy is, after Germany and France, top 3. I think Italy is a huge economy, huge base. So that, because when you're investing in a new country, you're thinking long term. You're not thinking 1, 2, 3. You're thinking like 10, 15, 20 years. So that was one. And second was more coincidental that our first large customer win in the European region, typically when any Indian company expands in Europe, IT companies, technology companies, they would look at like a UK or a Germany or a Netherlands. But in our case, our first major win for a pan-Italian network happened to be in Italy. And this customer was a very key customer for us. They needed a lot of support locally. And we wanted to delight them. We didn't want to just meet their requirement, but we wanted to delight them because we wanted to create this customer as a showcase, as a showroom for all the other European customers to come and see. So that was the second reason why we chose Italy as the place. And to your last part of your question about opportunities for Indian companies in Italy, I would say that if you have a product which is proven, if you have a unique advantage, if you think something that you have very unique, I mean, you should think of going international. And within international, we've had a very good experience in Italy and Europe. So if you are considering Europe, Italy may be a very good option. And to top it all, besides Italy as a country, and we've heard all good things about Italy from the Consul General and Mr. Quattrocchi and others. But I would say that what I would like to add on top of that is the Italian team in India is super and stellar. They are very helpful, very accessible. Anything, they can't resolve every problem because I know that there's government departments involved and there's a lot of complications. But whenever we go to them, they are very supportive and helpful. So if you are expanding your footprint into Italy, do make sure that you leverage and take help from this stellar Indian team.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nipun, and thank you for talking about Italian Trade Agency and letting them know how we can support them and about the opportunities that lie in Italy. I think along the same lines, I would like to take this discussion further with Mr. Vijay from STL. So whenever I talk to investors about expansion into Europe, I have seen that Italy has not been their first choice when they want to move to Europe. So, and according to me, I think platforms like this, Invest Karnataka, is a good place to sensitize people on, why Italy and what are the competitive advantages Italy can offer. So, to get more insights for your audience, I would just like to know how has your expansion into Italy helped you grow your business? And, or else better said, how can Indian companies leverage Italy as a gateway to their European expansion, European markets? So can you please shed some light on that?
Yeah, sure. Let me begin by setting some context about our company. As Nipun said, we are also into high-tech telecom manufacturing. Our journey with Italy began back in 2018-2019, where we entered the market via inorganic route. We acquired a local cable manufacturer over there in Brescia. And since then, we have grown the capacity of that company 5x. So 5x in last 7 to 8 years. So that is the kind of growth which we have seen in Italy. And further to Nipun's point, this is what I would also recommend that, look, scaling up, at least for us, was quite easy in terms of all the regulation, all the support we got. The business environment we found was quite helpful. So following up on the first acquisition in 2021, we made another acquisition on the similar scope in the telecom equipment company. So far it has scaled up quite well. The kind of support which we have got from the local government, as well as finding the talent over there. Because see, what happens is we are into high-tech manufacturing. So it's important that we find the local customer as well as the local talent. So you're talking from both the ends, supply as well as the demand. And this is something which we could crack in Italy. For example, in the slides before, they were referring to the huge investment in infrastructure, transportation, and moving to mobility. And we kind of support all these segments. So Italian Rail, for example, is investing 10 billion euros in modifying their railway network, and we are supporting them with latest products to help them expand the signaling system along with our copper products. So this is the kind of path which we see forward, and that makes us comfortable and in investing as well as acquiring talent from the Italian market. So those would be my 2 cents on that.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Vijay, for your insights. I think now that we have spoken to both the Indian companies that have expanded to Italy, I think I would like to start with Mr. Fabio, as he is an Italian who is setting up a base in Karnataka. So given SILMAX is a leader in making specialty cutting tools for over 200 years, I would just like to know what made you choose India, as India is just the 3rd country that you're present in, apart from your headquarters in Piemonte in Italy, and also China. So just want to know, like, what helped you come down to India?
Yeah, as you said, we have a production capacity in Italy, in Switzerland for micro tools. The Swiss are good for micro tools because of the swatch, and in China. And now we decide also, from a strategic point of view, we are looking for growth rates. We are a small multinational. So to enter, to go abroad is difficult for a small company. And for these reasons, we decide to find out growth rates. And India has incredible growth rate in the industries in which we are specialized, because we work a lot in aerospace, general mechanic, but also medical and other industries that are they use specific materials. So the decision was made, so we are in India since 10 years. And we are in Bangalore since then with the sales team. But we decided also to open the facility because, first of all, it's important for us, the customer proximity. We work a lot on find out the right solutions for our customers. We propose us as productivity partners. So you have to be there. You have to be quick and give them the solutions. So to have an hub, a productive hub here, it's important. Then also it's a fact of leanness, of cost in managing the producing of tools, because it's a competitive industry. We are talking about productivity, so you should be yourself very productive in a certain way. And the third, but not less important, is a matter of innovation and people. I have to say that Indian people has a level of knowledge and capability that is impressive. We love our team, and they are great people. Also, there is a good cultural fit. Yesterday, I brought all the team to Italian restaurants that was managed by an Indian, the Italian restaurant. So it was a really good fit, and it works well.
Perfect. I'm so happy to know that you find India as a very good market for your sort of business. So I think continuing the conversation with Mr. Nitik from Mir Group, you know, I, as someone who helps Indian businesses expand to Italy, I often get asked by my investors that, you know, there are so many factors they take into consideration before they set up a base in another country. For instance, could be the availability of talent, could be the proximity to ports and, you know, the logistics reasons of it, the availability of power, and, you know, to name a few. So given that you have chosen a location like Karnataka, just wanted to understand the place that you chose to set your business up in. So what led you to Karnataka? Like, I mean, what are the factors that worked in your favor to be setting up something here?
So in the beginning, so actually our plans was to set up. Actually, our plan was to set up manufacturing facilities in Dubai. So then what had happened is this was our company plan. So, but I somehow convinced them on saying how the geographical advantage of Karnataka, especially Mangalore, where everything, so where you have a port access, and Mangalore port is one among the cheapest port, and also the road network from where we can export anything easily through Mangalore was our first consideration. And main thing is we are into real estate development and also providing building solutions. So we thought, why don't we get into manufacturing as well, where we produce this energy efficient building materials. And to get into that, the Mangalore was a zone where Mangalore Special Economic Zone was one among the zones suited for our development, because one thing is you have a single window clearance there, so you don't have GST, and also there's no import duty on any materials which will be imported from Italy as a raw material. So we thought, why don't we go with this manufacturing unit? And also government, Indian Karnataka government has been more supportive on this, where they have been promising with more of ease process for the administrative and other regulation policies. And also India has a lot of incentive policies for renewable manufacturing. So probably this is the main reason where we landed up in India, especially in Karnataka.
Yeah, I think one thing to be noted is that you have moved into Mangalore SEZ, and as someone who works for the government of Italy, we are also promoting all the Italian special economic zones. So this is a good starting point for people to know what are the kind of opportunities that lie in a special economic zone. So thank you so much for that, Mr. Nitik. And I think from the traditional businesses that are present here, let's move on to startup here, Mr. Giuseppe. Who is entering the Indian market with a startup, and I think you are the right person to give perspective more on this. So India has the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, but Italy is just among between 30 to 40, 31st rank or something. So I just would like to know that how do you perceive this piece of information, and what do you think can be done to bridge the gap between both the ecosystems?
Yeah. That's a tough question. True is a fact that India is the third and Italy is the 31st or something like that. However, the two countries shares a lot of similarity and a lot of complementarities. The major similarity is the fact that both have a very strong and widespread entrepreneurship spirit. Italy, as you might know, it's made of like small and medium-sized company, particularly family-owned, so everybody is an entrepreneur in a way. India is the same. I can see that in the street, local shops, everywhere. Everybody has that. So that's a similarity. Other than that, there are complementarities. What probably India can give is the growth, the scale, and the aspiration. Something that we don't have anymore in the Western countries, especially the aspirational thing. And this is a big drive and brings India to the third largest startup hub. However, Italy has something that can complement that, which is creativity, that spirit, the design that helps creating something from scratch. And this is exactly where the two things can be combined. That's the perfect, in my opinion, bridge between the two. One thing that I usually say to my colleague in Italy, to the entrepreneur, is that if they don't come here, they cannot see that. And as much as it is quite obvious, being lazy, staying there, it won't help. So it's important to travel. It's important to come here. It's important to see what I've seen just a couple of years ago. More than with a traveler spirit, with a wanderer spirit. You don't have an exact destination to reach, but that's where you have to see the things. And allow me also to use like a famous quote from Steve Jobs, the connecting the dots. Most of the people focus on the ability of connecting the dots. However, I think that the most important thing is having the dots. And the only way to have the dots is to come and see them, collect them. That's the best way. The more dots you have, the easier it is to connect. So that's what I learned, and I'm so happy to be here.
Brilliant. I mean, thank you so much for that, because I think this was important for me to get to know from your perspective, because we as both the governments, I mean, we signed the India-Italy Startup Bridge back in 2023 during one of the G20 meetings that both the PMs were a part of. So great to hear from you. It's just less than 5 minutes to go, but quickly I would like to ask, going back to Mr. Nitik, I think Mr. Nitik and Fabio can answer this question. Going a few months back in time, when you were in the decision-making phase of entering India and more specifically Karnataka, what were your expectations from this state, more so from an FDI perspective, because Mr. Nitik spoke about why Karnataka, you spoke about why India, but what were your expectations when you were trying to make an entry into India and specifically Karnataka?
Yes, to find an environment where it's easy to set up a company being a small multinational. So here in Karnataka, we found an area that where a lot of our customers were there. It's close to here, close to the airport, it's an aerospace area, and we found a place to be there. So that's the main reasons. Besides that, so it was an easy choice. We were, at the very first beginning, we were in Hyderabad, and we moved 10 years ago to be here. It was a good choice. Besides that, also because of the people. And we have the right people, some companies build up a branch abroad just because, also in a small village, because they have the right people that live in the small village. We are lucky to have good people here in Bangalore, in this area, so we are working on that. Well, I have to say, I would like also to say that also the incentives, the fiscal incentive would be important. We would like that, but there are some limits, because some of these incentives are much far from Bangalore. So when you are, if I understood well, so when you are a small multinational, you have to balance the different risks. The risk, first of all, is to keep people happy. And you cannot go in the countryside because you have the incentives there. So you have to find out the place where the people is. And this is also probably, it could be something that could be considered when you define the incentives for the foreign companies to come here. Also consider the size of the investment that can be done. For a small company, for us to have incentives in an area close to Bangalore is important.
All right, Mr. Nitik, quickly if you want to give some expectations from Karnataka.
So as we all know that Italy was the first country which has come up with strong measures for on carbon neutrality goals. So which made us work more towards energy efficient building construction and management. So we thought how we could bridge the gap between two countries and get the manufacturing expertise from Italy and utilize the same here in India so that we can work towards the carbon neutrality goals together. And since now even India is growing more towards the carbon neutrality goals, so taking example of Italy would be much more right thing to do to get into more towards carbon neutrality. And as we all know that Italy focus more on the aesthetic value of any structure or any building, we can implement the same in India where any building can be aesthetically beautiful but also be carbon efficient, carbon neutral, more energy efficient. So this, we want to create a sort of a benchmark through this sustainable innovative district, create a benchmark for all carbon neutral developments. So, and create these sort of thing, I think would be much better where a subcontinent like India would come up with.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nitik. I would quickly like to ask Mr. Nipun and Mr. Vijay about a crucial point. A lot of my investors often ask me what it is like to do business in Italy, because Italy primarily is not an Anglophone country, and they would like to know how is the culture, how is the integration, and is not knowing Italian a problem in Italy. So I think I would like you to answer that, Mr. Nipun. And to Mr. Vijay, a continuing point is that I think you already touched base upon the availability of talent in Italy. So if you can just elaborate a bit more on that quickly, it would be great here.
Okay, so let me answer the first part of it. No, we didn't have much challenge in Italy because of the language, mainly because we are actually a high technology kind of a company. It's not a very labor intensive or that kind of business that we are in. So all the people that we interact with mostly knew English. Our teams, actually we put some Indian Indian origin people who have worked in our company, who know our product and technology very deeply, and we put them sort of tied in the back, these guys along with local Italians. So we had a local Italian team as well as our customer team, with whom this Indian team works very, very closely, day in and day out, very deep interactions. One thing we also did is, besides virtual interactions, video meetings and all that, we made sure that we had 8 or 10 people who were on rotation traveling to Italy very regularly, just because, it's not just the business or the technology, but it's also about people and understanding the culture and the nuances. And as they say, when in Rome, do as Romans do. So you need to go to Rome. So we did have a lot of people going to Rome. And more broadly, I would say anybody who's to, expand outside India, whether English speaking or non-English speaking country. I mean, culture is a nuance that we better understand. I mean, if we want to go to a new country and do business, we better understand their people, their language, their, all the nuances of their ecosystem, because we have to be part of them to be able to do business with them. So not specifically Italy, but anywhere internationally, if you have to go and expand your footprint, you better learn the language, culture, whether English speaking or non-English speaking. We had some challenges when we were setting up the company in terms of legal and paperwork and, understanding Italian law, but we were able to overcome those issues by taking help of some consultants, etc.
All right, brilliant. Mr. Vijay, before we close the session, because I think we are already above the time limit, so.
I'll keep it quick. On the talent side, three quick points. One, the young talent. Right now, we are getting good technology talent from the university. We are in the Lombardy area, so I get specific feedback from my plant head that young talent coming in either for internship or for initial recruitment is quite good. Second, what we find very good is that people can do a lot of multitasking. See, it's a very mundane point, but a very important one when you are doing manufacturing on two different areas. So let's say high-end copper cable as well as the optical fiber manufacturing. Because of the cyclicality of the business, you need to be able to swap the skills between the two sides. And this is something which we find very important and attractive in the talent. Last but not the least, my plant manager just yesterday gave me an input. Just to prove this as an example, there is a truck driver who's now become a hero in that plant because that guy can drive a forklift. When he's actually going, he's doing all the forklift stuff. He's also driving minivan. So when there is a high demand from customers, that the same person is able to do the delivery and save on the logistic cost. So these are sort of the minor but very critical points from a talent perspective when you're doing high-end manufacturing, which are critical. And then these are the points we are able to manage quite well in our plant.
All right, thank you so much. I mean, panelists, as much as the session has been so engaging, it's very difficult for me to say that we are crossed the time limit, but quickly, just as a word or a phrase, if you were to sum up what doing business in India is to the Italian people and also what doing business in Italy is for the Indian people, if you can quickly sum up in a word or a phrase from each of your experience would be great, and then we can conclude the session here. Starting with
Okay, probably will be remembered as the guy that takes quotes and uses them, but that's a fabulous one. I am a Formula One fan, and there's a legendary Formula One driver, Mario Andretti, in the 70s, in the 80s, and he was used to say to his mechanics, if everything is under control, you're going slow. So don't wait that everything is going to be perfect, because it never be perfect. Go ahead with entrepreneurial spirit, and this is good, not just for Indian into Italy, but also for Italian into India. So I think that's the best way to say it. Okay.
So I just believe that you have to collaborate in order to innovate. So if we explore all the possibilities, because there are infinite possibilities, so I think that would make us work more towards innovation or anything related to nature, environment, or business. So this is what I want to wrap up with.
Yeah, no, all I like to say is we took a very unconventional, unusual decision going to Italy, and it's been a very, very pleasurable experience for us. Still early days, the story is evolving, and we are trying to run our Formula One car at the fastest pace possible without worrying about something going wrong, and looking forward to the future. Thank you.
Yeah, just in one word, I have to say that in our experience in India, you never get bored. Huh? There is something happening. So that's the main aspect. Huh? And we love it, we pursue for that, we're looking for growth. There are a lot of difficulties, but we are great. You never get bored here.
And for us, it's easy. It's a home market. Italy is just like home for us.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, panelists.